No, your hair looks cute.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see who's
Hi,
joining us
everybody.
today.
Get this little booger out of the way.
Wants to be right there, huh? Okay. All right.
See who's joining us today.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's
We're
always
joking.
interesting, though. Always interesting. Okay, here we go. So here we are. Happy Saturday to you.
I don't know if you guys, I've been feeling drained for the past week.
Me too.
Actually, it's been this past week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It might be, maybe it's the energy too.
Yeah,
Things are going on that we're just kind of picking up on because we do that, right?
Exactly, because there's a lot of stuff still going on with the planets and, from February, that's going to keep going all the way to December. So, wow, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. I remember you talking about before how our bodies are made up of so much water. And so when things are happening with the moon or the energy, it affects that. Like how the tides come in and go out.
Hi, Rose.
It's just so interesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then, of course, we always want to tell everybody to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We have a lot of classes coming up.
Hi, Lori.
We have evenings with Angus coming up where you can get these amazing questions answered, and all of that you can find in the links below.
Right.
So
either there or there or there. We don't know where they are.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, and next week we have Colors and Chakras class.
That should be fun. And we've decided that we're going to have our classes and events on one website, not DUA.
Yes.
It's going to only be on Soul's Enlightenment website, not our nonprofit.
Yeah.
So, hi Tack, hi Cindy, hi Nana, hi Neat.
There's big waves for everybody. All right. Okay. So, Vera, do we want to kind of jump into the topic, or was there more things that you want to talk about
I've been
first?
told that we go into it too fast and sometimes people are late. So if we could just wait 2 or 3 minutes and chit-chat until we can do it. Hi, Chanel. Hi, I can't see with even my glasses on. Purple Blaze. Chica is there.
Sammy.
And Sammy, who's new to the group. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, so we've got an evening with Angus that's going to be coming up in, I believe it's October.
Mario.
And that one's pretty cool because it's between lives.
Right.
So it has to do with what we're doing.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think everything's fun, but it really will be.
So that's cool because it has to do with what we do on the other side in between our lifetimes.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool because our interests and what we are passionate about in life, we also have on the other side. So whether it's working with people and helping entities that are coming home from having incarnations and working in the orientation center or before life or animal husbandry or beautiful statues for the gardens over there, whatever. So it's kind of really just cool to learn more about our soul's journey. So that one's coming up. And and we also have some classes. Where the F is my spark?
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah. That one's in August. So that's going to be fun too. It's always good to tap into our passion and what makes us feel alive, right?
Exactly.
What we're here for.
Hi, Elma.
Purpose.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. A lot of people love Marilyn. I mean, people relate.
I can't tell you how long I've wanted to know about her past life or a little bit about Marilyn.
I thought I had done one, but I guess I haven't.
So I'm excited to
she's
about
still
this
on.
today.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, it should be good. How's the weather with everyone? How are you guys doing? Because it's kind of scary. Parts of the country are flooding. Our side is fire. I mean, it's bad. I mean, you can go outside and smell smoke again.
I know.
So, yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Okay, it's more than 2 and 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start with a little bit of backstory. Okay.
You gotta wait, Purple Blaze. Patience.
Okay.
Oh, we hope you stay on with us, Elma. Protection.
Oh my gosh, an electrical storm. See? Speaking of that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. All right. So as we know Marilyn had a hard life.
Roxanne,
a hard upbringing.
you're
Aloha.
here. Yay.
Flowers.
Lori, go to the doctor if you can. Go to urgent care. And that way you don't have to worry. You'll know if it's COVID or not.
I always picture tropical flowers when I think of Roxanne.
I know. Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so as we know, Marilyn had a hard life growing up, and that's a lot of that too was because her mother was in an insane, or I shouldn't say insane, an asylum often, right, for mental illness.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was in and out of what is it called, orphanages and foster care kind of thing.
And
if they had foster care back then, did they? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. But like you've mentioned before, children, we need to be nurtured. We need to be held. Right?
And she wasn't.
And she wasn't. So she was looking for that. And she got married when she was only 16 years old. I did not know that.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
No, it's all over.
And started her modeling and broke into the movie business. And so she played a sex symbol, very beautiful, had her charms and everything, right? And kind of dumb blonde roles. But she was very intelligent. You were saying,
Yeah,
she's a highly intelligent person, and she wanted to act in roles that had more depth. Okay, now she loved and married in her life. But in the end, it didn't really work out. So she got divorced
many times,
and had different affairs or what have you, right? So it was reported that she grew depressed and also was doing drugs. So on the night of her death, the police department found an empty pill bottle, and it was for depression, and that was all over her room and everything. And so she was found in her room, and the autopsy showed that she died of an overdose of sedatives. So it was ruled a suicide. But so many of us have always really wondered about that. We've heard rumors, right, because of some of the men that she had been seeing at that time. So the official report was suicide, but it was far from what happened, according to what you were picking up.
right.
You want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. Where
This
are
is
we?
Fascinating.
I'm trying to do a birthmark. I'm multitasking.
So,
Where are
here, we're right down here.
we? Okay. So it was ruled a suicide, but really she was murdered.
Because a lot of us thought, I always thought that because of who she was seeing.
Because she was with the Kennedys, and then they dumped her. So that's when she got into a deep depression. And so she hung on to this mob boss because she was dating him at the same time, right? But she was so desperate to keep a relationship that she was telling him, well, you better not leave me because I know this and this and this. So she was trying to build a case for him to stay with her because, otherwise his secrets might leave
And
go out. And then that was like the worst thing she could have done. It's like, all right, well, she's gone. Sorry, oops.
Yeah.
So, but at least how do I say this? Not at least. For as much as that man could care about a person, he really cared about her. But business is business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the worst thing that she could have said to him.
Right.
What you don't want to say to a mob boss, right?
Right. So that was it.
But
and the thing too also is that he put her out of, he killed her, but with no pain.
Right.
She died, immediately. So that shows you that he did care about her, because otherwise they would have tortured her, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You could tell. It could have been a lot worse.
Right.
Yeah. So that to me was like really, really interesting when you got that, Vera.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered about it. But yeah, so let's see what now. There's a little bit more here.
No. They're both still on the other side. If that's what you're asking. I'm not paying attention to what's going.
Oh, if she's in life?
Yeah, she knew too much. The Kennedys, yes. It was Jack that had her first, and then he, how do you say it, pawned her off to Robert. And then she started getting too needy with Robert, and then he dumped her because she was calling him at his house. You know, it was like she was getting desperate because people keep leaving her.
Oh, and she's looking for that love.
Right,
She wanted to be
right,
loved
right.
because she didn't have it as a child.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense. Because one of the things that you were saying too is that it didn't make sense for her to have committed suicide because during this time things were really looking up for her, right? She was doing better with the movies, right? Wasn't she getting? And she also bought a
at
house?
that time, no. When she was she had been depressed. She was telling that mobster, "You better stay with me," and it looked like he was staying with her. So she felt like, okay, things are finally getting better. So she started not taking as many drugs. She was starting to, not drink alcohol as much, that kind of thing, trying to get her life back together. Talked with the studios. They rehired her, which is huge because they won't do that. It's money. And if you don't, so they were giving her another chance. And then she bought a new house. So why the heck would she commit suicide? Unless it was accidental, because she was trying to fall asleep, but that's not what happened. It was murder. And they did it with an injection. So, but they put the pills there. But they did it in a area that no one, a coroner would know where to look.
Uh-huh.
But this coroner didn't. It was just like, yeah, she committed suicide. She was a drunk.
Oh, wow.
And they never got murder,
Right.
or they were told not to, is more
I see.
what I get.
That
But,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So the coroner kind of was forced into ruling it as a suicide, basically.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, given the people that was involved. But yeah, and also during this time before she died, her relationship with Clark Gable, they were getting really close, right?
Yeah, because that happened. She had met Clark Gable on Bus Stop, I believe, is the movie that they did together, and she felt this strong connection to this man, and she truly believed that he was her father. I mean, till the day she died, she believed that, even though it was like really kind of impossible, because is he going to be around her mother,
Right.
who was always in mental institutions? I don't know, and he felt this deep connection to her, but it was more father-daughter, not a romantic relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really.
And so
cool.
that's when she was really like, oh yeah, things are turning around. I've got my dad, I've got my boyfriend, I've got my career back.
Yeah. Yeah, the relationship was really helping her a lot emotionally.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You were saying, and they really loved each other. Yeah, so there's all these good things happening for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. However, now it's saying here that karma reared its
reared its ugly head because, not ugly head for this case, because the mobster later, a few years later, was murdered. And he was murdered because of her.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding
Even though
me?
they are saying that it might be different in the history books, it was because of he couldn't control her. Secrets were already out. The Kennedys found out stuff. So it was like, you're gone. You're not supposed to do pillow talk. That's Mobster 101.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like a trip, though, how it came back to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
karma,
it
huh?
would anyway, because he had a lot of karma.
Yeah, it's like that karmic boomerang.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
In
No, he wasn't part of the
1975.
murder. No way.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
How
No.
interesting. So so you were saying that she hasn't come back into
Yes.
life yet.
I'm going to talk about that in 2 minutes, 2 seconds after this commercial. No, we don't have a commercial.
So that brings up a really great question. Did Marilyn and Clark Gable have a past life
Yes,
together?
they did. They had actually 3, but the most significant one for her was a past life in Sydney, Australia, and it was in late 1700s, early 1800s. And Clark Gable was her father in that lifetime, but Clark's father had come over whenever they started sending the convicts over. I don't know what that was called, but
that time.
yeah. So his father kind of found this one area, and it was like his father was not. I don't know why he was sent there though, because his father was not violent. He did something like he stole because they were hungry or something.
Oh no!
And he was in slavery for like in England until they booted him out for like a few years. But he was going around different. They would send him to different ranches to work. I mean, or farms and stuff.
Oh my!
So he learned how to do that as a slave, right? Because he was
Right.
indentured, I guess. No, I don't know.
Indentured servant type of thing.
Yeah, because he was a prisoner.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
but they took him to Australia. He found a little spot, and then it made it grow. He was just amazing at organization and putting his life together and the farm kind of thing.
And that's quite
a ranch.
That's quite a feat, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be able to create this
Something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's the land, they're not used to that land.
Right.
The Australian land. They're used to the English fertile,
Yeah.
Totally
dry and desolate.
Yeah.
And he's able to make something grow.
Yeah.
That is so
But
amazing.
when Clark took over, he made it into a multi-million-dollar, I don't know if it would be $1 million back then, but in our terminology, enterprise.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. He was amazing at business. He was, and you would say was a man's man in that vernacular. I know they don't say this nowadays, but yeah, Clark was. And in his day, when he was around in this lifetime, he was the same way. He was a hunter. He was, he was like, he would fight if somebody called him out, that kind of stuff.
Gotta like that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, do what you gotta do to survive.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But Marilyn was the first of 12, and she's the only girl in that lifetime.
oh
in that
my
past life.
gosh.
And she was the oldest. Yeah. And Clark actually married an indigenous woman, and that was like, oh no, you don't do that. But he was so wealthy, they couldn't say anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like such a fascinating.
He was like an amazing with her. She was with him 24/7. She was like a tomboy. She knew how to rustle the whatever they were growing or raising, that kind of stuff. She was like tougher sometimes than the boys were.
God, that's
And, mentally, not physically, obviously, but yeah. So, how was it? They had that. Marilyn had anything and everything she needed in that lifetime. She went to the best schools. She had everything, and she would date guys, and it was like she measured everyone to her dad.
oh.
All the men had to be met. She was measured up to Clark Gable in that past life.
Mm-hmm.
So, her father. So she would date guys, and then it was like, bye. She was like, if it was something I didn't enjoy and she was done. It was like one and done. Mm-hmm. Until she met this one guy that she thought he was her Prince Charming, because that's the vernacular back in the day.
Yeah.
Or soulmate nowadays, whatever, So he...
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. What happened?
This is where it starts when she couldn't pick him. Because he was and Clark could smell him a mile away.
Oh,
he told her, no, you will not marry this person. No, no, no. If you marry him or you go, stay in this relationship, I'm cutting you off. And he was the type of person, if he said something, he meant it.
Oh,
okay?
wow. Okay.
So that's how she took it. Well, she left with him.
Right.
And they got married.
Oh no.
And then Daddy cut her off.
Uh-huh.
No money. Because he knew.
He knew.
And the guy dumped her. But she felt like, my dad said, you can never come home. And what my dad says, he means.
Oh.
So
no.
she never went back home. And he mourned her till the day he died. And he was looking for her. Because it was like, yeah, I said it. But he said it so that the guys would leave. Mm-hmm. And not her. But, trying to get it to where...
The guy would know.
He didn't mean it for her. But she knew that when he talked business with, he meant what he said. And when he said it, he did it, or the consequences. But that was his daughter. He didn't feel. I mean, he was tough love, but ultimately he would have taken her back in a second.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but he raised her. She was like her daddy's mini me.
Oh.
So she was tough. And she found a way to America.
Did she?
Yeah, and she became like a fashion dressmaker. She didn't know how to sew. She didn't learn that. But she knew how to design. And she would have people sew for her.
Oh my god.
And she made a living at it.
Wow.
So she was fine,
Gosh.
Yeah, she mourned her daddy too, but she never went back. And she never, ever, ever got married.
I see.
Because she wanted her dad. She wanted a guy like her dad, not her dad. It was not a weird relationship. It was beautiful.
So talk about memory.
In this lifetime. Yeah.
Oh my
So no wonder when she met him, it was like, my life is good now.
Yeah.
She felt loved for the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was, so at least he gave her that.
Exactly. That's a beautiful gift that she was able to feel that.
Right.
I think it's interesting too how in the past life, Clark was in her life up until she reached that age where she left, and then in this time she went through all these experiences, and then she had that with him.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that balancing out. That's so interesting, and it's just here she's.
But she kind of did it too with the guys, like. Keep your thought, because mine will go. She was like, that's why she was attracted to intelligent men like her father, but like her dad, if she didn't like one thing that happened, it was like, you're done. Mm-hmm. So she did that with, everybody thought it was the men that were leaving her. She was leaving them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in this lifetime,
she was leaving them.
She was leaving them.
I mean, even if they had, it looks like they said, I'm filing for divorce, she already had left them emotionally.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just so fascinating.
But she found joy, and towards the end, it was just she had that longing in her heart, and then the trust thing with men.
I know, and that's what all I was going to say was how in this life, she was looking to be loved, but also it is so much cell memory from that lifetime too, because after she left her father, it was like.
And it's interesting how women get the reputation of being money grubbers and just going up for men that have money. Guys do it too. They've done it.
Oh yeah.
So it's both. I'm not trying to. Yeah,
it's the truth for sure. It is both. It's just like with everything, right? That we have the good and I don't want to say the good and the bad, but we have people that will stand up for what's right and be a positive person and want to empower others and give love, and then there's others that want to just take and use and no matter what field or what kind of relationships
it's what we charted to experience too, right? And we want to make it different than how it was in that past life, that we feel that we grew instead of regressed.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
that's an amazing thing.
But it's always growth, even though you might come back in life how she did and still had the thing about the men, but it's still growth at certain points. It's just things got away from her.
It's so interesting because she did not kill herself. So it wasn't like it was not a charted thing, right? It was an exit point in her chart. But I just think it's amazing how she.
But I do think she was on the phone with her psychiatrist, I believe.
Really?
So there was something that was bothering her that night that happened. But she was also joyful. So they only do the bad part. The psychiatrist, they only talk about, she must have been depressed and she's talking to a psychiatrist. It's not always about the bad parts. It's sometimes, this is the joy I felt today. And I feel so good. I'm going to redecorate my new home kind of thing.
Yeah.
Go, Chrissy.
Well, I'm so happy for her that she was able to achieve that and finally have that.
Yeah.
Because here she was, and even though they took her out, it's like she went out on a high note for her. So that's pretty amazing, actually. Yeah. Wow. Talk about cell memory. That just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they found each other again. That's true.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
I'm racking up the cokes these days.
Yeah, you are, Nikki. Yeah. So that's what I have on for the past life.
Wow, that's
So,
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Did they ever do a movie together?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bus
now
Stop.
they'll go watch it.
Yeah.
That's right. You said they
Yeah.
met on Bus Stop.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, Vera, was there
Oh, her
anything
hats
else?
were her specialty.
Are you serious?
You know how they used to
Oh,
wear those hats?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Not that it's just a little tidbit. It doesn't really matter, but yeah.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
so fascinating. Well, thank you for joining us today. And Vera, thank you for sharing about Marilyn. And for all of us that have wanted to know for so long about her,
Yeah.
about what happened to her. I know I've wondered. Because I've heard a lot of rumors about
Yeah.
it being people that were around, like the political aspect, you know.
We
that.
chart addictions, but it's up to us and how we want to handle that once we're in life. That's our lateral movement.
Yeah, see, that's amazing how much everything is
Or
charted.
maybe it's the Misfits, Elma. Maybe I got the wrong.
Oh, the
it's whatever
Misfits?
movie that she was in with him. I think it was one, right? Well, we have to look it up. Misfits. Okay, that's the one. I don't know, but Bus Stop was just stuck in my head because I thought that was the one she was with him on. But Misfits is the one with the horses and all that. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's Misfits. I apologize.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And gosh, I wonder if she's gonna come back into life
I don't know. They're both here. I mean, over
on the
there.
other side. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think he's back yet. But one thing about Marilyn, she wants to come in at the end.
Really?
At the end of this schematic.
At
of
the end
Earth.
of this Earth schematic. Wow.
So that's when she's maybe planning that.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a sad movie. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Misfits.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we
Sammy,
love
yes.
you.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to be back today, right? For
Yes,
candlelight
candlelight
chat.
chat.
Vera, do you know what time?
What time is it?
1:30.
How about 2:00?
Perfect. We'll see you at 2.
We love you.